everybody, this is Carissa from Inky Fairy Designs, and I'm back with another fun Brutus Monroe project with you today. Let's take a look at the supplies that we're using. I am focusing on this lace gate die. This is our August die of the month. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to be pulling out this cute little mermaid from the Merfriends stamp set. I just absolutely love mermaids and couldn't wait to get them colored up and used on a card. I'll also be using a sentiment from this stamp set, which is the Extra Sentimental stamp set. It has a lot of great sentiments for all occasions. Definitely one of my most used sentiments. I had to pull out some more mermaid paper, mermaid skin paper. I love this. This is the blue, or not the blue, but the pink that kind of shifts into green. And then also the Sea Sparkle collection. I'm going to do my coloring on alcohol, marker, cardstock. Of course, my stamping with the detail ink and Raven. Also using the Easy Squeeze clear, crystal clear glue for my die. And I showed you the circle dies. We're going to do some fun circle die cutting with that. So here's the lace gate die. It's absolutely stunning. So big, and it cuts like a dream, especially through the mermaid skin paper. I was really impressed. All the little bits fell right on out. I didn't have to spend much time fussy, punching those out at all, which is usually my main, like with these intricate dies. I hate having to like poke out all the bits. This one was a breeze. They all just kind of fell right out. So I cut down my my paper, my pattern paper down to fit an A2 size card. So it's just slightly smaller than 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And now I'm lining up the die, trying to figure out how I want, or the die cut, trying to figure out how I want it on there. And I figured I wanted to have it span across the bottom so that you could see all of the shells and everything kind of peeking through. And though this die has flowers and all kinds of stuff like that, it also has some stars and just some other random kind of foliage shapes. And I thought it really worked well with this kind of undersea theme that I'm going with for this card. So it's very versatile and one of my favorites. So I'm using the crystal clear glue just to kind of get all into the main thicker sides of the die cut, and then I'm going to place that on the bottom there. And I'm not putting it right in the center, so I'm taking it and lining it up, and you can see I have bits kind of falling off both edges. I'm going to cut that off. I actually, after I cut it off, I threw it away, this big large piece. Initially I did toss it into the garbage can next to my desk, and then as I turned it over and looked at it a bit more, I was like, wait a minute, I think I want to use that piece. So I pulled it back out, and I end up using it on the upper right hand corner, and it created a cute little detail kind of like frame. And so I really love how that I was able to use the entire die cut on this card just by using the bits on different areas, creating that little corner frame. I thought it was really super cute, and I love this paper. I didn't want to waste any bit of it. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to add some foam adhesive to the back of that panel and get it nice, and I like to get a little pieces in the middle just so that it doesn't flop around. Now I colored my mermaid off camera. I didn't want to focus on coloring today, but if that is something that you are interested, please leave me a comment in the description box below, and I'll try to do some more coloring videos here on the Brutus Monroe channel for you. Here I'm going to take out the smallest 3 dies from the circle die foundation set, and I'm going to figure out which one is going to fit my sentiment. So I wanted to use the hello, and so I think I needed just the 4th larger one to put my sentiment in. And I'm going to take these smaller 3 and I'm going to die cut circles out of that mermaid skin paper. Again, I do all of that off camera. I mean, I think we all know how to use a die cutting machine, and I just ran it through, nested some of the circles to give this like bubble effect on that paper. Now don't gasp or anything, but I did cut up the sentiment that comes in the Merfriends stamp set because I only wanted to use that waving. Now I could have masked it and inked it up that way. But it's just so easy to just snip right down the middle of that sentiment, and then it makes it so much more versatile. I can combine it like I did here, even though in the Mermaid or the Merfriends set it says waving hello, it's all in that same font. Mixing up the sentiments and the font really just adds a bit more character to the card that I'm creating, and I really love that look. So I'm going to stamp that onto that circle die I cut out of the same alcohol marker blending paper, just the scrap that I had after I colored my mermaid. And now I've got that ready to go. Now I'm going to play around with the placement of my little circles, which I think look like bubbles in the sea, and the placement of the sentiment. And I'm going to use the crystal clear glue again and my little detail grabber, which worked pretty well. It's really great with sequins. Didn't work too well with the mermaid paper. It was just easier for me to pick it up and place it on there for my card today. But I like using the crystal clear glue. Makes it super easy to add those things, and I can move them around a little bit if I don't have them in the exact place that I want to have them quite. And then I will just go ahead and add those onto my card. I wanted to add the sentiment and kind of have a little bit of a peekaboo effect with that other last shape of the mermaid skin paper just peeking through behind it, and I will place that in the lower right hand corner of the card. But now I'm just making sure all of that is stuck down really nice. Now I'll go ahead and add, oh, that one little piece fell off, so I'm going to add that right back on. Super easy. Now I like it. Now I'm going to fuss around with where I want the sentiment to be, and I kind of want the mermaid to be kind of overlapping it a little bit, and but not hanging off. Like I didn't want her arm hanging off the side of the card, so I kind of play around with that a little bit. Now I'm going to take off the release paper from the foam tape and add that to my card panel, and I always struggle with this. If anybody has any tips, I can never, when I'm using foam adhesive to do my card panel, I can never get it like perfectly centered, but I think it looks okay. So now I'm going to add some more foam adhesive to the sentiment. I'm going to place that in the bottom right corner, and then I liked how her tail kind of fit just right over the waving, so I took that little foam square off of that so I can just glue it right down to that sentiment. And now we'll go ahead and get rid of all of these little bits and add a few more of the little foam squares to her arm, because I didn't put it on there initially, but then I thought that's a really delicate part of the stamp that I fussy cut around, and I didn't want it to snag on anything or kind of get torn off in mailing. So I'm going to cut one of these squares just down the middle, and then it fits perfectly on her little arm, and then we can then I can secure it down to the card base, and I won't worry about it ripping off. So now I've got that on there, and I can just get her right onto the card, and I think she just looks super cute on that background. And that really finishes off the card for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. As always, we love to see what you create. If you're inspired by any of the things that you see on this channel, definitely use the hashtag Brutus Monroe on social media so that we can check it out. And there's also a Brutus Monroe fan club Facebook page that you can share your work as well. I hope you enjoyed this one and liked seeing how we can use that August die of the month in a different way. I think having a little undersea theme wasn't expected with this one. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.